What's up, guys? Ruben Velasquez here, aka the Nintendo God. And today's episode is my first ever discussion video, like long form discussion video, because I made a poll about like a few days ago, asking you guys if you guys wanted to see me do discussions on gaming, like Nintendo and stuff. And of course, the majority of you guys said yes, so here we are. So, in today's discussion video, I'm gonna be basically versing these two Nintendo movies, versing 1v1. The Super Mario Brothers movie that came out back in 2023, and the Super Mario Galaxy movie that came out earlier this year in 2026. So I'm gonna be versing these two movies together and telling you guys my opinions on which one is basically which one is the better Mario movie to watch. I mean, they're both pretty good, but I want to give you guys my definitive opinion and answer on which is the best Mario movie to watch, like with a big family or a bunch of friends. So let's get right into it. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode as much as I did making it. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and comment down below your opinions on which is the better Mario movie. With that being said, let's start this video. 3, 2, 1, let's go. So, which is the better Mario movie, the Mario Bros. Movie or the Mario Galaxy movie? Well, let's get into it. So let's talk about this. So the Mario movie came out back in 2023, and it has the basic story. For a shouldn't really say first time making a Mario movie, but second time making a Mario movie because there's a Forgotten Mario Bros. Movie came out in the 90s or 80s, I believe. I think 90s, and it did horribly in the box office. Nobody really liked the movie. It was horrible. So this is basically Nintendo's like refresh attempt at making a Mario movie. So, and they did phenomenally. This game basically is peak. Not gonna lie, it's peak, but it does have a basic story. I mean, it crossed $1 billion at the box office back in 2023, and it was right behind the Barbie movie, surprisingly, which is a big surprise to me. Um, but yeah, the story's pretty basic. Mario and Luigi are plumbers in Brooklyn, and they are trying to earn money and stuff like that. They run a business together, and then of course they run and they accidentally fall down a pipe and end up in the Mushroom Kingdom. Mario ends up in the Mushroom Kingdom section of that world, and Luigi ends up in Bowser's territory, which is called the Darklands in this movie. And of course, Mario's basically the whole movie is like Mario trying to save his brother from Bowser and stuff like that, and of course defeat Bowser along the way. So it was not like a basic Mario game where like Bowser kidnaps Peach and Mario and Luigi have to go save her from Bowser and defeat Bowser. It's more like it's still a kidnapping situation, but instead of a princess, it's Mario's brother. That's why I think it's kind of a basic story because it's not really like it's sort of like the games, but without Princess Peach being the captive and all that. But yeah, they have a bunch of references in this movie. Mario Kart, Rainbow Road. They reference galaxies, like the Galaxy games, because they made a movie about it. But they mentioned Mario Galaxy, like not really like Mario Galaxy, but they mentioned like there's just different galaxies in this universe and stuff like that, hinting at the Galaxy movie being the next film or the next like few films And then of course they have Donkey Kong in this movie, voiced by Seth Rogen, which I think is a perfect fit for the character. Because I don't think any other person would have been perfect for Donkey Kong. Maybe Jack Black if he wasn't voicing Bowser, or another type of comedian like maybe Jim Carrey or something like that, or But yeah, and then they have like references to like Donkey Kong, like Swanky Kong basically dies in this movie because Super Kong throws a banana peel, and Swanky Kong basically uh, trips on the banana and dies. Then they show Chunky Kong, Diddy Kong, Dixie Kong. Cranky Kong is a big part of this movie. I mean, that's how they get the army to defeat to ambush Bowser and his army. They reference like the penguins and all of that stuff. Like from the beginning of this movie, they reference the penguins and from Mario 64. There was a bunch of old school power ups and items like the warp whistle from Mario Bros. 3, which in that game it warps you to a different world uh, by using the whistle. And then of course the power ups like the power ups that they show in the movie overall, the cat bell from Mario 3D World, the fire flower which Mario doesn't use in this movie, Princess Peach does. The ice flower which Mario doesn't use, once again it's Princess Peach that uses it in the final fight against Bowser. Then of course the power star, the mushroom, the mini mushroom. They reveal a lot of power ups throughout the movie, even though it's only like an hour and a half long movie. But they do introduce a few power ups, and of course the Tanuki leaf. They introduce that as well for the movie. There's a bunch of references. There's Mario 64 eel from that game as well. Like that's a portion of the game of the movie where like Mario and DK get trapped inside the eel's like belly, and they like contemplate on like what their fathers think of them and stuff like that. So there are a lot of Mario references, and of course there's some other Nintendo franchises mentioned and referenced in this movie as well. Like Kid Icarus gets referenced in the beginning of the movie when Mario and Luigi are still in New York and Brooklyn, where Mario is in his room playing Kid Icarus on his NES, and he has also in the scene another reference to another Nintendo series called Star Fox, where there's the R-Wing ship from that Fox flies in his game series, literally on top of like the old school CRT TV that he's playing Kid Icarus on. So like there's a lot of references, and the diner that Mario and Luigi go to witness their commercial on TV live is called Punch Out Diner, which is based on the Punch Out game series, where Little Mac is basically punching his way through to the become champion in that game series. So yeah, there's a lot of Nintendo Legacy references in this movie as well. This movie is just a bunch of references and all of that stuff. Um, but yeah, this movie is a really good movie to watch. But in my opinion, like I said, it still has a basic story. But of course, I'm not gonna do my rating of the movie just yet if it's the better Mario movie until I do the next one. So that is the Mario Bros. Movie discussion. Now let's talk about the Galaxy movie. Now give me a second. Alright, guys. So now that I've done the Mario Bros. Movie and discussed a lot about that, and of course I'm not gonna spoil if that's the better movie or not, but now is the Super Mario Galaxy movie talk. Portion of this video. So yeah, the Super Mario Galaxy movie came out in 2026 in April, I believe, April 5th, I think, if I remember correctly. I did see a day one, so I shouldn't really be forgetting this. But it was a couple months ago, and I really don't have a good memory of that sort of stuff, like when it's like months ago or like, stuff like that. But yeah, I believe it was April 5th when this movie came out. And all I gotta say is I love this movie so much. So many Galaxy references. The Gateway Galaxy gets referenced in the movie, and you actually go to it in the movie like when you're watching it. The bunch of power ups like the frog suit, the penguin suit, the blimp fruit that Yoshi eats in the Galaxy 2 game. Trying to remember. Mushroom returns. Princess Peach uses the normal mushroom to grow big in this movie. Let me see what else. Frog mushroom, penguin suit. Oh my god. I've seen this movie like 20 times and I still can't remember all the power ups. Let's just say that there's like a lot of power ups that even I can't remember them all at this point. But yeah, there are a ton of power ups in this movie that you can see for yourself if you have it on DVD or Blu-ray, or if you're watching this movie on streaming, like on Prime Video or something like that. But yeah, there are a lot of Galaxy references in this movie. Like I said, Gateway Galaxy is referenced in this movie. It's sort of like a spaceport, because in the Galaxy games, Gateway Galaxy is more like a wayward point to like. But sorry, not a wayward point, more like the center of the galaxy that Mario travels around in the game. and it's more like a like rest stop for like Rosalina and the Lumas to like watch Earth for like a while. And I remember, I think that's how the story goes in Galaxy One. It's been a while since I played Galaxy One like fully, like 100%. Um, but I think that's what Rosalina says in the games that the Gateway Galaxy is basically like basically a rest stop for her to watch over Earth and stuff like that. But yeah, and then they show off the Space Junk Galaxy. They show off a couple other galaxies, and of course they show off a new one called Planet Bowser, which is basically like the final world of a Mario Galaxy game. It's like the final boss world in this movie, and it's basically like where Bowser and Bowser Jr. try to conquer the universe by destroying everything. So yeah, and then they reference some older Mario characters that haven't seen the light of day in years. King Wart, Mauser, and Birdo. Well, I mean, Birdo has been seen in Mario games nowadays, but I guess King Wart and Birdo, I'm sorry, Mauser, those two characters haven't been referenced in anything Nintendo in for a long time. And they're from Super Mario Brothers 2 that came out on the NES and the Super Nintendo. And it was basically like those characters are like part of like Mario's dream, because at the end of Mario Bros. 2, back on the NES and SNES, it ends up that it shows that Mario was basically dreaming that whole entire game in his sleep. So technically, I mean, I guess if you're trying to like make a movie about those characters, it makes sense to add them. But like, I guess the lore just doesn't match up for me, honestly, because they're technically like dreamed up characters, like they're not supposed to be real. So like, I guess I guess I'm thinking too much on this, but yeah, it's kind of nice that they reference King War, Mauser, and Birdo in this movie. Rosalina's in this movie because you gotta have Rosalina in a Galaxy movie. You know, it's Mario Galaxy. You have to have Rosalina. She's the main princess character from the Galaxy games that you see all the time. So, and then other characters show up in this movie, like Claw Grip, which is also from Mario Bros. 2, and he's mostly like a boss in a couple of the worlds that you go to in that game. Then the ninja character enemies show up in this movie, like 100 of them. Like there's like so many of them, and they're mostly there for like a fight sequence with like Princess Peach and Toad. So it's more like they're only reference for like a fight sequence in this movie. And then they also reference the sequence in Galaxy One where the UFO basically rips around Princess Peach's castle and lifts it up into outer space. So like that's pretty cool that they reference that in this movie as well. But like that's more like near the beginning of the movie and stuff. And I kind of like that reference because I loved the beginning, the tutorial. Sorry, the introduction area of Galaxy One when I'm playing that game and all that. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, I kind of like the introductory area of Galaxy One, where like you're enjoying Star Festival, then Bowser shows up and destroys everything in the kingdom, lifts Princess Peach's castle into space with a UFO, and you basically have to save her and stuff like that. But yeah, I like how they reference that in this movie as well. That's pretty cool. But yeah, other than that, oh shit, dropped it. My bad, guys. Dropped the DVD. That was my bad. But yeah, this movie's pretty good too, and all that stuff. If you're looking for a good movie to watch and you're a big Galaxy fan like me, then the Galaxy movie is the best movie to watch this year, I guess. But if I had to, vote on like which Mario movie is better to watch, like which one is the definitive Mario movie. I mean, I love the Galaxy games, so I'm not really gonna put this up with like nostalgia bait. So I'm not gonna say Galaxy movie. If you're looking for a really good Nintendo movie to watch, because Nintendo is making more movies, like a Zelda movie's coming out soon in 2027. So I'm saying Nintendo movie. But if you're looking for a really good movie to watch and you love Mario so much and you can't decide which Mario movie to watch, I'm not saying this movie because I'm nostalgic of the Galaxy games and I don't want that to cloud my judgment. So that is already out of the gate. The Mario Bros. Movie is the best movie to watch when it comes to Mario and Nintendo, basically. So yeah, that is my discussion on which Mario movie is better, because this one has more references and sequences that are more memorable, and then the Galaxy movie. Like honestly, I've seen this movie like 20 times, and sometimes I can't even tell certain sequences apart. Like I don't know, it's just something about the Galaxy movie that's just not clicking with me as much as the first Mario movie did. And also, it's kind of sad that Rosalina wasn't a big part of the Galaxy movie, even though she's a big part of the Galaxy games. So that kind of like diminishes my rating of that movie as well. But yeah, the Mario Bros. Movie pulls all stops. It is the best Mario movie out of the two. So if you're looking for a Mario movie to watch in 2026 or in the near future, then definitely pop this into your DVD player or Blu-ray player, or just pop it on your TV like streaming, and watch this movie. It came out 3 years ago. It is still a complete banger. But yeah, that is basically my discussion on which Mario movie is better. But with that being said, guys, that's where I'll be ending up today's discussion video for y'all. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's discussion video as much as I did making it. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and comment down below on your opinions on which movie is better, the Mario Bros. Movie or the Mario Galaxy movie. And with that being said, this is Ruben Velasquez, aka the Nintendo Gods, signing out. Peace. Bye, guys. Oh yeah, and this Thursday, I'll be reviewing the next video game in my collection, and that is Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. So stay tuned for that review when that comes out this Thursday. And with that being said, peace.